Greetings from Minneapolis, where we are living on Dakota land and where we are in mourning and in organizing after George Floyd's death. So I welcome you to the National Storytelling Network annual meeting, our first digital annual meeting. So, and I will say that this is sponsored by, in part, the Youth Educators and Storytellers group, one of the SIGs, which you'll hear from later, and also that the Pro SIG, the Producers and Organizers SIG, is taking care of ASL interpretation, although I don't believe we're going to have any of that for this meeting today. So my name, in case you haven't figured that out, is Lauren Nemi. I'm the chair of the board. I'm going to turn it over to Howard for a moment to go over the agenda.
Howard, you are muted if you are speaking right now.
Thank you, Katie. The first item will be for all the members to meet the members of the board of directors. We'll each be spotlighted and say a few very brief words about ourselves. The second item will be a review of the organization's financial report for 2019 and membership growth and development, and a member ratification to changes that were made recently to the bylaws. We're going to talk about NSN's programs and partnerships, ask about where we are and where we're going with regard to Jay Jay Renault, Brimstone, member grants, the accreditation program, the magazine, the Midcontinent Library programming partnership, Storyteller Relief Fund, digital library and YouTube channel, and then a membership Q&A.
So here we go. We're going to meet the board. Once again, my name is Lauren Nemi. I reside in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm the chair of the board. This is my second time, both on the board and as the chair of the board. So I'm happy to be here and happy to welcome you. Katie?
Yep, my name is Katie Knutson. You've heard me talk a bunch already today. I am the chair of the conference committee. I'm also the vice chair of the board, and I also reside in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Bloomington, if you want to be specific.
Hi, I am Erin O'Neill. I am the secretary for the National Storytelling Network, and I am basically co-chair for the conference committee this year, even though I initially started as, I'll just help with a few things here and there. So Katie and I have been working very closely together, but you may also have been receiving emails from me regarding issues that have popped up in this learning curve, exciting learning curve. And I just want to say that, you know, despite the hours and hours of hard work that have gone into this, it makes me so happy to see all of your smiling faces on this TV, on this computer screen. It just brings such joy to my face. So I hope that it is likewise doing to yours.
Shall I go next? Okay.
Yep.
My name is Cora Newcomb. I am shown on the screen right now. I'm the finance chair. I'm from Beaufort, the beautiful coastal city of Beaufort, South Carolina. You guys should all come visit me there. And I'm also the Southeast Regional Director for NSN. I have been so amazed at all the things that we're doing. This is amazing. We're doing a virtual conference. It's exciting. And so it's pretty, you know, it's creative and we're getting it done and it's really exciting. And I'm so happy to see all of you here with us. It is just, I mean, of course, all last week we're like, is anybody going to sign up? And so it's wonderful to see you here. Thank you for being a part of this.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rachel Harrington, and I'm really excited to be here as well. And I'm really honored to be a part of the board here. I am the regional director for the Mid-Atlantic region, woot woot. And yeah, I live in New York City, and I'm just really excited to be here. So hi, everybody.
My name is Howard Lieberman, and I'm an appointed board member. I represent either no regions or all the regions. I'm a storyteller based in Stillwater, Minnesota, which, if you don't know it, is the former home of Michelle Bachmann. And my role with regard to the conference is to stay out of Katie's way so I don't screw things up, and to provide the board with legal and business and other kind of difficult ideas. And it's a pleasure to be here.
My name is Sarah Addison, AKA Juba. I am the Western Regional Director. I live in the land of enchantment, Las Cruces, New Mexico. I've been on the board for 6 years. So if anyone out there is chomping at the bit to serve as a Western Regional Director, see me. It's good to be here. Thank you all for supporting NSN.
I'm Marilyn McPhee, and I live in San Diego, California. I am the Pacific Region Director, and I'm just delighted to work with all the people in the Pacific region. And I'm also delighted to work with the other members of the board who've been working so hard on this fabulous conference. And I believe in storytelling, and I love this way of communicating with storytellers, so thanks.
Hello? Hello?
We can hear you, Fran. Just go.
Okay. I'm Fran Stallings from the South Central region. I'm based in green country of Oklahoma in beautiful Bartlesville. And I've been just amazed at how all of this has come together in such a blazingly short time. Anybody who watched the launch of SpaceX yesterday can imagine the excitement and tension we've had in getting this off the ground, and we are so happy to have it launched. This is going beautifully. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the South Central Regional Showcase performance.
Hi, everybody. You can't see my picture for some reason, but I'm Gail Herman, and I'm the Northeast Regional Director. And I'm very happy to say that I live in East Hampton, Massachusetts, which is a mecca of arts. And even now they're giving out grants to artists. So if you like storytelling and the arts, you've got to come to East Hampton and live. But the Northeast region has probably more storytellers than almost any other region for its size. And I'm very happy that tonight we are going to have our regional spotlight performance. So please do come at 8 o'clock tonight. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Otto. I'm the Regional Director for the North Central region. I'm new on the board this year, and so this has been fun to have all this excitement happen when you didn't think you were going to be working that hard. But the one thing I have to say is I've been on good boards, and this is a stupendous board. It is a board of people who are talented and committed and ready and willing and able to give their all for not only the organization, but for you, our membership. And I'm very proud to be a part of this.
So at this point, if Danny and Kathy are here, you should chime in. Otherwise, I will be happy to introduce you.
Hi, I'm Danny Altman Newell. I am not a storyteller. I am a staff member and proud to work for Nsn.
And we deeply appreciate the work you've been doing. So our other staff member is Kathy Greenmeyer, who is also been producing the newsletter and doing interviews with various storytellers and storytelling interests around the country as part of that work. So a big hand, an applause, metaphorically or literally, for the staff. One of the things that's unique about the National Storytelling Network is that we have special interest groups, SIGs as we call them. And at this point, I'm going to go through we're going to give the SIGs an opportunity to explain themselves. I'm going to go through the order so that everyone is reminded of what they were. We're going to start with YES, go to the Pro SIG, go to SIO, HSA, and finally SSHE. So, Priscilla, if you're there.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me? Oh, let's see.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I can't see me, so anyway, I am the co-chair of YES, Youth Educators and Storytellers, along with Sarah Beth Nelson. We teach to tell and tell to teach. Last year, we welcomed storytelling in higher education into YES, and this expanded our focus on education from preschool to university. We offer story labs 4 times a year. The next one will be on audience connection. We were going to call it audience management, but that's so boring. It will be Monday, July 6th, so watch our website and Facebook page for more information on that. Another program we have is our mentorship. Want a mentor? Want to be a mentor? This is one of our membership perks, free mentorship from experienced storytellers. And if you want either one of those roles, let us know. We have lots of resources on our website. A new one coming soon is a subscription to the journal Storytelling, Self and Society, which will be available on our site to members. We're going to have our annual YES meeting in July. Stay tuned for the date. Hope you'll join us. That's all I've got.
Are you there, Pro? Okay. Guess Lisa, I don't know if Lisa's with us at this point, so, or if she can come in, but as the former chair of the Producers and Organizers SIG, what I can say is that it is composed largely of people who are creating events, whether those of storytelling events be festivals, series, slams, community-based events, oral histories, those kinds of things. And the function of Pro is to provide assistance for each other in terms of information sharing. If you have an interest as a producer, feel free to join Pro. Okay. SIO.
Hello. Hi, it's great to be here. I'm Julian Ryan, the chair of SIO. I could share my update and comply with strict parliamentary procedures or the Roberts Rules of Orders, but I've chosen to present my update in the matter and style of a born in Queens, New York. In other words, I'm doing it my way. The SIO SIG promotes the constructive role and importance of storytelling in corporate, nonprofit, small businesses, and other work settings. We travel near and far to gather fresh and creative perspectives and insights on how we can use applied storytelling at work. Are you with me so far? Good. Mm-hmm. I have to start off by saying, even though I am a seasoned New York commuter, I am exhausted from the amount of virtual traveling I've been doing because in 2019, SIO became truly global. Not only do our members now include Stuart Roth in South Africa and Artem Mushin-Makadowski in Russia, but our story labs have got us constantly globetrotting. We've visited Gabrielle Dolan in Australia, Dr. Shen Swart in South Africa, and zipped down to Indonesia to speak to Anjali Sharma. We got connected with Jeff Mead in England and Karen Dietz in California. Our story sessions also gave us the opportunity to collaborate with ProSig, so we got to hear from David Levy in Ohio in the Midwest. The Buckeye State has provided a rich crop of storytellers because we also heard from our own Tom Sparrow, Tom, and Shane Meeker. Our members never miss an opportunity to share the power and possibility of using storytelling at work. Tom Sparrow and Stuart Roth gave workshops at the first business storytelling conference in Russia, which was founded no other but by Artem Mushin-Makadowski. Not only did Tom and Stuart showcase their expertise, they represented all of us here with soul and style. And yesterday, Artem presented a pre-conference workshop named The Double Why: What the Russian language can teach us about connection. Okay, so I got to travel too, and I learned about what makes our organization and its membership tick in the process. I got to meet Lisa Overhauser when I visited St. Louis last September. Not only did this woman take the time to meet me for coffee on a Sunday, she drove me to the airport. To a born and bred New Yorker, that's like donating a body part. Do you get what I'm saying? So let me not forget to acknowledge my new friend at NSN, Mike Selinger and HSA. He became my planning buddy during our conference presentations. During our pre-COVID life in February and January, we got to meet in person at story events. And Selinger got me to drive through traffic and across New York bridges with the promises of 3 things. You'll get to hear good stories, you're gonna meet some talented and terrific people, and there's gonna be really good food. What's not to love about that? I also want to take this moment to give a sidebar acknowledgement to the conference planning and NSN support staff, Danny, and say thank you for responding to my just one more thing messages. Thanks again. NSN board members and fellow members, I joined this organization to learn skills and gain insights that I could apply my work. But as compelling and informative as our story labs have been, that's not where I've learned the most important lessons about teams, collaborations, and leadership. I've learned those lessons observing Pete Griffin and Tom Sparrow model true leadership qualities. They are generous with their time, expertise, and support. Tom is gifted at conceiving a great idea and sharing it in such a way that it's no longer his idea, but all of ours. Tom and Pete never miss an opportunity to step back and let others stretch and shine. And that, my colleagues, is the best stories in organization case study that I can share and shows me why our groups matter. So those are the most important things I can share about SIO and NSN today. Well, that and the fact we still have a few dollars left in our till. Pete checked. I want to close my update with an invite. Please visit us at our SIO virtual open house on Tuesday. The SIO board and I will be hanging out on our virtual version of a Queens, New York front stoop, swapping stories and waiting to talk to all of you. So let's get connected. Let's keep learning how we can live our best story. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Wow, this is Mike Seliger from HSA, and I'm always impressed by our sometimes partner, Jewel, who manages to knock the facts so far out of the park that it's been great to try to work with her. And we were joking recently about how between the two of us, we may have the brains of one board member. And I volunteered to be the one who tries to maintain a sense of humor while she tries to maintain a management focus. But anyway, about HSA. In 2019, we continued our regular series of teleconferences. Our most recent issue of our annual online journal, Diving on the Moon, came out in February 2019. Contains some wonderful articles that I urge you all to find on our website. In addition to that, we are still struggling to put together a new issue that will most likely have much more focus on the pandemic than previous issues ever could have. Last fall, we were very active with the annual Nsn Summit, where we had a highly successful panel on social justice and 2 other panels, plus a surprisingly well-attended swap that focused on healing story matters, with over 20 people attending. And our annual meeting during that time introduced a number of people who were eager to participate more fully in the life and work of HSA, which is a good thing because some of the old timers were getting a little bit tired. One of the main things that grew out of ongoing discussions about what should we be doing at this time in response to the pandemic and in response to other crises was the creation of a series of Wednesday evening gatherings under the title Keeping the Oar in the Water, which refers to the concept of when you're in turbulence, if you keep the oar in the water, you're able to keep the boat straight and focused on heading in the direction of safety. Those Wednesday evening gatherings, which have been going on now for over 2 months, have averaged over 40 people at a time. And the outcome of those has been that people in our extended community have been able to feel that they've been heard, feel safe, find a place where they can indeed express themselves and not feel that in this isolation time that they are so possibly feeling alone. That was also the subject of how we got there. That was a subject of our workshop at this conference. And then last night we had our annual pre-conference concert with 8 remarkable, wonderful tellers. And I know that about 70 people were able to tune in, and I hear that people were still banging on the door and saying, how can I get in during that whole time? And I hope that there will be another opportunity for those who were unable to get to see that wonderful concert. I hope there'll be another chance for them to see it at some later point. That's all, folks.
So there are a couple of things to be said about the SIGs in general, is that interestingly enough, you do not necessarily have to be a member of NSN to be a member of a SIG. Although we would certainly think that if you join a SIG, you'd want to join the larger organization, have them be hand in hand. In addition to the SIGs, we also have a number of discussion groups. There is one on interfaith. There is one on environmental issues, and there is, I'm missing one. Oh, the fairy tale lobby. There we go. So with that, we're going to move on to something that we are required to do and which most people find a little bit problematic, but let's dive in anyway into the financial report. 2019 by revenue, if that slide is up for you right now, you'll see that starting on in the 1 o'clock position or the 12 o'clock position, we had $31,000 and let me try this again, $33,181 of contributed support. And by and large, these are specifically direct contributions from members and non-members in support of the organization and its programming. We had $19,007 in other earned income. Primarily that includes advertising. It includes the teller pages, a few miscellaneous categories, including programs, services that we provide for others. We had $91,000 and $91,728 in conference revenue. Last year's conference was financially very successful for us. This year, because the physical conference in Atlanta had to be postponed, and that is the word, postponed, because of COVID-19, the pandemic. This conference is a substitute. We do not know at this point whether we're going to make as much, more, or less. But let me be clear about it. From an income standpoint, the conference has always been our largest and most substantial source of revenue. And then finally, there is $52,994, which is membership dues. This number actually has not changed significantly from previous years. It is somewhat smaller than it ought to be, but that's because our membership is somewhat smaller than it ought to be. Moving on to expenses by type. Again, starting in the largest of the position at the top. Last year we did $1,308 worth of grants. There have been years when we've done more, but that was what was available at this point. Payroll accounts for $76,505. Professional fees account for $24,636. And professional fees are primarily the cost of editing the magazine, right? $23,807 came from other operating expenses. And those operating expenses include postage, include telephone, include the magazine, again, as the largest single source of, largest single expenditure in that other operating expenses at $13,700. And that was for 3 issues. It cost us approximately slightly under $5,000 per issue to do the magazine. Under the travel and meetings costs, this again is the conference, the cost of putting on the conference. So with 81,000 or 91,000 in revenue and 61,000 in expenses, you'll see that the profit from the conference is there, but is not necessarily hand over fist. And then finally, there is $28,000 in other expenses, and they include, you know, what we pay for merch for the bank, for website, for insurance, for the technical things that you have to have as a 501c3 organization. If we look at how those expenses get allocated by function, without the payroll, basically that becomes a question of how is the staff spending their time in relationship to those costs. And you know, the great bulk of the time is spent on the conference and on the expenses are on the salaries and the conference. There's no way around it. So the total of expenses is $210,505. As you can see, there is a gap between what we spend on the, here we go, let's go. What we spend on income and what we spend on expenses. The gap last year basically came down to $18,000, $18,972. Every year when we do the financial report, there's this sort of element of the boy crying wolf. And the fact is that the boy is real and the wolf is real. The wolf is at our door. He has been at our door for years and years. He's still at our door. Ultimately, if NSN is to survive and is to thrive, two things have to happen. One of them is that we do need to have a significant increase in our revenues, whether it be digitally from conferences or other services we provide digitally, or whether it be from an increase in things such as members, donations, and program services. The board is going to have a conversation about that as we go through the summer. How do we make up those kinds of gaps? We cannot really afford them year after year. We do not have the resources we once had, and there's no getting around it. If anyone wants to talk about the finances in details, I'll be happy to have a conversation about it either on Wednesday when at lunch, or you can ask the office to send you this material, and we can go from there. Finally, the last thing I want to look at right now is membership. Currently, our membership numbers are standing at, are standing at 754 members, down slightly from last year where we had 827. I will point out that we have had, the increases have come in student members and in the nonprofit organizational memberships. The losses have come from individual memberships. And frankly, a lot of the function of losses is because many of our members represent older folks, including me. I'm one of the older folks. And, you know, people on fixed incomes. On another kind of note, a personal note, I'm a little, you know, I worry about the future in terms of memberships because this pandemic is taking a bite out of everyone's income. And the question becomes, what can you commit your money to? If you can commit your money to storytelling and storytellers as represented by a national organization, God bless you. We appreciate your membership. We appreciate your activities. And as we can see, each of the SIGs have their memberships. Their memberships have been pretty consistent from year to year. HSA has had an increase, or sorry, a slight decrease. Yeah. Pro-SIG has had an increase. Yes has had has remained the same, and SHO has had a slight increase. So, and again, if people want to talk about the membership numbers and what you heard from the SIGs is not enough of an enticement, I'll be happy to talk about it on Wednesday. I'll be happy to have people respond to people with emails or in other kinds of inquiries. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Erin.
Hello, everyone. So, as your secretary, I am in charge of documenting some of the wonderful changes and adaptations that the board has been dealing with over the last couple months particularly. But one of the biggest things that we addressed at the January meeting was some issues within the bylaws and the conflicts of interest policy and the board member description. job description. So we noticed that we were still operating within the state of Tennessee. So most of these changes are really just intended to address that in particular. So you'll see on the screen here, or if you'd like me to email you a copy of the full documents, I will address that in just a moment. But we did, I am moving to, or making a motion to change anywhere that it mentions the state of Tennessee within our bylaws to the state of Missouri. That is the most significant change that you'll see here in these documents. And then within the Storytelling Network conflicts of interest policy, the primary change is just eliminating references to the National Storytelling Festival. So I have kind of minimized the amount of changes that we've made here and pulled out the changes and put them all on the screen here for you, so you don't have to comb through documents to figure out what we changed. So what you see here on the screen are the changes that we are proposing. There are no other additional changes to the way that the documents are structured. The board member job description was the one that had the most overhaul, just to be a little bit more clear of what we expect of our board members and what you can expect of us. So again, we eliminated reference to the National Storytelling Festival, and then we also just clarified that we will have quarterly board meetings, January, April, July, and October, and that the transportation, housing, and food costs will be covered by NSN within the limitations of the allotted individual reimbursement. We also may have additional board meetings as scheduled. I know right now we are doing those monthly, just to make sure that we are accommodating what all you need so that we can meet the storytelling member community's needs. Board members are expected to attend no less than 75% of annual meetings, with quarterly meetings taking first priority. We love NSN. We want to make NSN a priority. So we want this to be a very important opportunity for us to connect and address any issues that arise and really make sure that NSN is the best organization that it can possibly be. So we do expect that board members attend no less than 75% of annual meetings. With that, we do understand that things come up, which is why we have put in that 25% space for them. Board members will receive 50% off registration fees for the annual conference. This was previously just not specified. We've made this a little bit more specific for you. In addition, the transportation, housing, and food is only covered within the individual allotment of reimbursement for meeting times only. So this is in reference to the annual conference. Those transportation, housing, and food is only covered when we are actively meeting as a board during those annual conferences. And then board members, again, we've listed down below further into the document under attendance that they are expected to attend all meetings with at least 75% attendance rate. And I am going to check the chat really quickly. So if you do have questions that I could answer briefly here, I will. Those are all the changes, the major changes that we've made. Obviously, we want to be transparent and have your support in this. So if you would like me to send you the full documents before you vote, please email me at secretary@storynet.org. That's secretary@storynet.org. I would be happy to send those full documents to you either with the visible changes or without, but we will be voting via SurveyMonkey. So as soon as I finish up here and we move on to the next thing, I will drop the SurveyMonkey link into the chat. Please go ahead and copy and paste this now and post it into a new browser so that when the Zoom meeting ends, you still have access to it. Otherwise, the chat disappears and you may not have access to it. So we will also share this with you. But if you would like to copy and paste this or click on the link as soon as this slide is done, then that will help us get voting kind of on the roll. So you will be voting on each of these individually. Let me check the chat real quick. Thank you, Katie, for putting my email in there. Yes.
So there's some questions about the connection. Why would we be eliminating this National Storytelling Festival from this document? Do you want to speak to that, Erin, or do you want me to talk about that?
As a brand new board member, I don't know that I could, but I don't think that I have the title in which to speak to that. So I will let you do that, Katie.
I will just make this very brief. The National Storytelling Festival and the National Storytelling Network used to be the same organization. We split, but the bylaws were never updated. So those things that you're seeing about the National Storytelling Festival are left from, Lauren, you can tell us, was it 12 years ago? I mean, a long time ago. That
2010.
Okay, so 10 years ago that we did not, have not updated those bylaws.
So I am seeing some recommendations on the chat to move all board meetings to Zoom from now on, and then just continue the annual conference on Zoom. That is something that we will address. We are working through all of these changes and recommendations as quickly as we can as a board. We are at a very interesting time, and I know myself being a brand new board member, I didn't really know what I was going into with the board, and then COVID happened. So this has all been a really exciting and challenging and thrilling time for us as we learn to adapt to this virtual network. So please, I hope that you'll stick around to see us grow in this platform, but we are definitely still in conversation about how that's going to look moving forward. So again, here's the previous slide, maybe. There you go. There's that previous slide. And then again, please email me at secretary@storynet.org if you would like a copy of the documents before you vote. And then I will drop the SurveyMonkey link into the chat here as soon as I am off. Let me know.
Erin, we also have two people who have raised their hands.
Okay.
Should we, so Sandra, if you want to unmute yourself, you can ask your question. Unless it was on accident.
I don't remember raising my hand.
Oh, it's Sandra Measles Morton, MS. And Drea, you've also raised your hand. If you want to unmute yourself, Drea, if you have a question or a comment.
You know, I honestly don't. I'm sorry, since I have to do this on my phone. Everything's very small, and I probably hit the wrong thing. Thank you. Bye.
All right. We just want to make sure we're hearing you. Okay. Continuing on.
All right. Perfect. That's all that I have. We will now move on. And please let me know if any questions come up in the meantime.
Cora?
Yes. So hi. I'm Cora Newcomb, and I'm going to do the report on the Jay Jay Renault. You can't see the J, at least I can't see the J and the J. There's two J's in that person's name. The immigrants. And the Jay Jay Renault award, people may know about that. Jay Jay Renault was one of our great storytellers. She was a children's book author, a singer, and a songwriter. And she passed away in the year of 2000. And what was her family decided to, with her, knowledge, decided to set up a fund. And the fund is there, and it's given out in her memory. And there's actually two parts of it. There is get my notes straight here. There's the Emerging Artist Award, which provides emerging artists $1,500 a year as a way to promote their talent, and it's for people who haven't not yet been recognized nationally. So it's people that are emerging artists that can use that money so that they can become even better. And there's also the Mentorship Award, Artist Award, which is a $1,250 award that is given out to a younger teller, someone who's 18 to 30 years old, and they can get $1,250 in order to work with a mentor for a year to also increase their skills. The other award that we have up here is the Brimstone Award. The Brimstone Award is more an award that's for advancing projects. We haven't given that award out for a while. It's advanced. It's called an Applied Storytelling Award. So it's for people to use things that are in storytelling and apply them to different other areas. It's called the Brimstone Award, and it is not being given out this year. And the member grants are to advance the storytelling community through promotion, advancements, education, advocacy, and members can apply for that award. It's up to $1,000. And that award is not available this year either because of what Lauren just was talking about, our budgets. But those awards are there. And if you go onto our website, storynet.org, you can see more information about those different awards. There will be a Jay Jay Renault award, two Jay Jay Renault awards that will be presented at the award ceremony, which is this Saturday, June 7th. It's from 12 noon until 1:30 Central Time. And you can sign in then and find out exactly who's going to get that award this year so that they can further their storytelling skills. And then also there's going to be a storytelling performance on Sunday, June 7th. And those two are really, they're free. They're part of our, we had to have some, you know, just like the member ceremony today is free. And so I would encourage you very much to show up for the Jay Jay Renault just to see who those two people who are going to get those awards. And that's Saturday, June 6th, 12 noon to 1:30 Central Time. And I'm going to talk about the Oracle Awards now also. I see that that slide went up. And so the Oracle Awards, some people may know about that and some people may not know about that, but we have an Oracle committee, and I'd like to thank the committee. I mean, we've worked really hard over people actually nominate people for the Oracle Awards, and then the committee looks through the nominations and decides whether they meet the criteria. The criteria is very specific, and you can learn much more about those awards if you go to our website, which is storynet.org. But I'd like to first talk about the committee members because I appreciate working with them. If I have their names down here someplace on a piece of paper, which I should be able to remember because I've worked with them. But the committee members were Mary Gay Ducey, Angela Lloyd, Diane Edgecombe, Sarah, better known as Juba Addison, and myself. And so what happens is in the Oracle Awards, it was established back in 1995, and they're presented by the National Storytelling Network to those who have excelled in their art or made significant contributions to the storytelling NSN or to its members. And so you may or may not know, but Oracle, the word Oracle that you see up on the screen here, actually when it was established back in 1995, these awards, organization, originality, reliability, achievement, creativity, leadership, and excellence. And so the word Oracle actually stands for other things that these awards are set upon. And so there's all part the storytelling community, and they're pretty, you know, they're pretty amazing. It's pretty important stuff. And so the different awards that we have that we're presenting this year, or people have earned this year, been nominated for, is the Circle of Excellence Award. Now that award is presented, you might know somebody who's received a Circle of Excellence because like I said, this has been around. And so there's lots of our really fabulous storytellers have received this award in the past. It's presented to artists who are recognized by their peers to be master storytellers who have set the standards for excellence. You know, these are the people that we look up to learn more about storytelling or to be better as storytellers ourselves. And have demonstrated over a significant period of time a commitment to dedication to the art of storytelling. That's the Circle of Excellence Award. There's also the Regional Excellence Award. The Regional Excellence Award recognizes the creativity, the professional integrity, and the artistic contributions of tellers who have greatly enriched the storytelling culture of their region. You know, we have all the different regions. And then there's also the Regional Service and Leadership Award. It's presented to individuals or organizations that have made a significant contribution to their local or regional community. Now, I would encourage you, again, to go to our website and look at these. These are awards that are given out every single year. And you just need to nominate somebody from your region for these awards. I mean, we have fabulous storytellers everywhere. So you might be sitting there going, okay, so who's getting the awards this year? And so we have a slide here with all the names on it, I think. Here we go. So the Regional Service and Leadership Awards this year are going to Jean Donato in the Northeast region, Peg O'Sullivan in the Northeast region, and Kate Lutz in the Western region. And, you know, go to the website, nominate somebody for next year. These are really special awards for the people, and every single region has fabulous people that need to be awarded. The Regional Excellence Award is North Central is Barbara Schutzgerber. Thank you. And the Southeastern, she's from the North Central region, and the Southeastern region is Tim Lowry, who will receive that reward. And then we have the Circle of Excellence Awards. Those are the ones that, like I said, are considered the master storytellers of our area. And it's Jackson Gilman, Jennifer Morrow, Laura Packard, and Corrine Stanish. Now, there's two really important things that I want to add to this, and then I'll be quiet. But the first thing is, once again, the award ceremony is June 6th, this coming Saturday, at 12 noon until 1:30 Central Time. That's the ceremony. That's when we're going to announce who these people are, and they'll get up and they'll be introduced, and they'll say a few words to say, oh, thank you, I'm so excited. And then another thing that's really exciting is that Sunday night, June 7th, there's going to be a performance, and the Circle of Excellence people that you see their names listed up here and the Regional Excellence awardees are all going to perform on Sunday, and that's June 7th, and I know I wrote that time down somewhere around here, 7 to 8:30, I believe. Somebody help me here. I believe that's what time it is on Sunday night. 7 to
8:30.
Yeah, 7 to 8:30 Central Time, remember that, for the performances of our Circle of Excellence people and our Regional Excellence people. So once again, be sure and go on the website and see about these awards. Nominate somebody for next year. Let's have tons of people getting awards all the time. Thank you. That's it.
Okay, Gail? Gail?
I would like to introduce some of you that might not know about this program that Nsn has started, because it was asked to start such a program by some of its members. I would like to introduce you to the Accreditation program. And I'm going to read you their words, the committee's words. The purpose of the accreditation process is to acknowledge and help storytelling educators who offer non-degree instruction in order to preserve and perpetuate the art of storytelling through the teaching arts. Applications for accreditation are submitted electronically and reviewed by 2 established storytelling educators and performers. And once approved, a certificate is issued for the application for 5 years. So this is to be used in people's promo on the website. And we were told in the pilot project that this acknowledgement of accreditation by a national organization really seems to mean a lot to people applying for grants and other such funding in their work. We need some reviewers. So if you're interested in either applying for accreditation and using that certificate of accreditation, please go to the website, which is on storytelling.org, or you can email the committee at accreditation@storynet.org. So for either reviewing yourself and getting a nominal fee for that, for your work, helping the people go through that process and reviewing it, and also for accreditation, please go to that website or that email. The next I'd like to do is the magazine committee, and as the liaison also to the magazine committee, I'd like to tell you a little bit about that. All the magazines have been put up online under the category in storynet.org called resources. Now, I know that a lot of people don't read online magazines, but I'm telling you, the magazines, our magazines, look exactly like the ones in print looked. And they're in full color, and most of the links are live, and they just appear beautifully. And I don't like reading online that much, but I love looking through the magazine and all the different articles from the past. And my son-in-law has the cover for the October issue, so don't miss that. We had to decide to put the magazine on hiatus for a while because we needed the funding for different things like the website updates and the virtual conference that's now coming up. And it will probably remain on hiatus until we can get our membership numbers pulled up. And also because of the lack of a face-to-face conference, we just don't know how much we're going to be able to garner from our virtual one. So that's the magazine committee report. And we thank you for supporting both these programs.
Thank you. Rachel.
Hi, everybody. I am going to talk about our very exciting Midcontinent Library Programming Partnership. So back in January, before the world turned upside down, we had our board meeting in January out in Kansas City, Missouri, and we all met at the Midcontinent Library. And it is a gorgeous library space. They have something in this library called the Story Center, which I didn't even have to step inside of the library to be in love with it. But once I stepped inside the library, I basically wanted to move in. They have so many resources for storytelling and storytellers. And this library has a heart for storytelling and a vision for storytelling. And they see the National Storytelling Network as partners in that work and in that vision. And so, we are excited to be there at the Story Center. The offices are currently not in operation because of COVID-19 restrictions. But previously, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. The National Storytelling Network was in this like tiny little like square box of an office. And you can kind of see us all. If you look on your screens, you'll see the board crammed into what's basically a closet / New York City apartment. And that was where we were in the Midcontinent Woodneath Library. National Storytelling Network had this office. That's where all the operations took place. And what you're seeing on the screen now is something that is incredibly exciting. Doesn't it look exciting? Look at that, the roof, look at what's exciting is the Woodneath library is expanding, and they're doing a ton of renovation. And because they see the National Storytelling Network as partners in their vision for storytelling, they are taking us from that tiny little closet and moving us into this beautiful office. The National Storytelling Network has future offices coming in this brick house that sits right in front of the library. The library was constructed as kind of an add-on to this old historical house. And so the future offices of National Storytelling Network are going to be in this this brick house, this historical brick house that is part of the Woodneath Library. So that is an incredibly exciting step forward, not only to have expanded offices, but to be in partnership with a library and a library system that really values storytellers and really wants to promote both storytellers and the craft and art of storytelling. And you can tell their commitment by that, because when you walk into the library, they have a cafe in the library that has a big sign that says that it's like a storytelling center. They have an audio booth where people can record stories. They love storytelling. They love storytellers. And this is a partnership that we have that has great potential. The library itself, beyond renovating this historic house that it is attached to, they are also looking to expand their grounds so that they can become a hub of storytelling activity for the nation, or for people from all over the place to gather to have storytelling. So they're thinking about things like creating a walking path that has story stops along that path. They're thinking of ways to expand their space so that they can host storytellers and authors for book talks, to invite people in, to hear storytellers and all about storytelling. So we are incredibly thankful for this partnership. We are incredibly excited. And for me, a new board member coming into the National Storytelling Network, it was so exciting to be there and to see the potential that is held in this partnership, and to know that it is like a shot of energy and potential that we can really tap into. So I think with that, that kind of gives an update on that exciting partnership that we have.
Erin.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait, sorry. Juba, I'm one slide ahead of myself on this end.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to talk about the Storytelling Relief Fund. It was conceived mid-March in the chaos of the pandemic shutdown. The Story Relief quickly came to fruition, and most importantly, to date, has been able to aid 14 storytellers. Sheila Arnold and Donna Washington banded together and started a COVID support Facebook page. The group's Artists Standing Strong Together, an initiative meeting of interested storytelling tellers, the ideal of being able to offer some financial relief, however humble, to our peers was important. Those of us who know people who have lost their jobs know that some of them still haven't received their unemployment. So just to have a stopgap, a little bit of help is awesome. Storytellers Nicolette Nordine Harvey and Tamara Lucifer worked to bring the ideal to the NSN board. We talked about it, we hashed about it, we were so excited about it. And then they drafted guidelines, application questions, payment options, and Then it was on the Nsn website, so people had access to it. On April the 21st, 2020, the first application was reviewed by an excellent committee consisting of the following individuals: Archuleta Holmes Martin, Beverly Fields Burnett, Cooper Ennis Bronze, Nestor Gomez, Jim May, Tamara Lucifert, Nicolette Nordine Havi. To date, the committee has reviewed 14 applications and have awarded $2,850. The funding amounts are modest, but have been joyously welcomed. The best thing, there is still money in the fund, and the funds are still being raised. All information on how to apply for the relief and how to donate to help storytellers who are scrambling right now can be found on the Nsn website. So let's give these ladies a hand, the committees a hand. Without them, where would we be? Where would we all be? The committee would like for me to extend a super thanks of shout to Danny Altman Newell for handling web additions and accounting for this as an addition to preparing for this conference. Bob Johnson and all the Nsn board who helped coordinate everything very speedily to make this happen. I just want to say thank you for those who contributed to the relief fund. If you haven't, please consider doing so. To those who contributed, thank you. And for those who were able to help, we're honored and we thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to share.
Juba, there's a question on the chat. They're asking, 14 people applied. How many of those 14 were funded?
No, 14 were funded.
All of them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Juba. So I'm going to keep this fairly brief because I do want to make sure that we have time to address some of your pressing questions in the last little bit of this membership meeting. So Nsn is making very big strides to go digital. Obviously, we are starting that by kicking off a virtual conference. So in light of COVID-19 and realizing that there was a lot of at-home learning going on, we did start a Nsn Youth YouTube channel where you can currently submit. You'll see on the screen here kind of a smaller screenshot. If you go to our website, under resources, you will find the Nsn Youth YouTube channel submissions where you can submit your work. And then below you'll see that I have created several different playlists on here. So you've got different age ranges for at-home learning. And we hope to continue growing this as a platform and a resource for parents with or without at-home learning. We hope that this might kind of draw people in. It is also currently supporting the Storytellers Relief Fund. So that end screen that you'll see on every video asks people to consider donating to the Storytellers Relief Fund and to help support the storytellers that have volunteered their stories to this channel. We are continuing to play with digitalization. We are trying to build a digital library. That is one of the things that we are currently approaching. And speaking of digital content, if anyone was wondering, yes, we are going to provide recordings of these sessions that you have registered for. Please give us a week or two to download everything and re-upload them. This conference has been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for all of us. So it may take us a little bit to get all of the content re-downloaded for you. But we will be sharing these sessions and they will be made available for up to 2 weeks after the conference or after they're posted. So you will have those videos for about 2 weeks to be able to review anything that you maybe weren't able to attend or missed part of. And I will lead on to the next portion of this, which is your questions and answers. So I'll let Lauren kind of field questions and answers. Please leave a comment in the chat or feel free to raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question. You are also invited to join our upcoming question and answer lunch session with Lauren on Wednesday, June 3rd at 1:45 p.m. CDT. You are also welcome to email me with questions if you would like. Again, it's secretary@storynet.org, but I will stop chatting and let Lauren field any questions. So it looks like Cooper has a question question about donations. Cooper, would you like to unmute yourself to address that question?
Yes, thank you. I know there's been some issues with this around registering for conference. I recently did a pair of shows and the plan was to donate a percentage of those proceeds to the Storyteller Relief Fund. I cannot do that through the website currently. I know that people have been having trouble paying for the conference. Is there a resolution to all that? Is there a way I can donate? Is there a way I can pay for the conference?
I would hope so. Let's start there.
Me too.
We have had some difficulty with digital payments on the website. We are working. Danny is working with the web folks who are trying to. In the long run, we're looking at redoing sort of the whole of the website to make it more usable and user friendly. So they've been working on that on some of the back end stuff. I will confess it's not going as fast as I would like to have it go. You can always send a check. That is one option that's always available. Or you can call the office, call Danny or call Kathy Greenway, and they will be happy to take the information from you for credit cards.
Thank you.
There is a way to donate on the membership link there. If you go all the way down, Katie, do you know exactly?
Yes.
I did, but I can't.
Yeah, so what you do is and let me know if this is what you tried, Cooper, and it didn't work. So what you do is you go to storynet.org/donate, and you will see a form. Oh, and I pulled it up on the other.
Yes,
computer.
no, I filled out the form. It processes it with the 902 error that everybody's talking about.
When did you do that? Was that like yesterday or?
I tried 3 or 4 times yesterday and once this morning.
Oh, so this morning it's still not working.
Yep.
Danny, are you here?
This is Danny.
Okay.
And I can speak to that. Yesterday, we had a server overload. We were not expecting the response that we got for the registration, and our hosting package was not high enough level to allow us to get all of those people hitting our website at once. We have upped our hosting package so that we have the ability to accept all those people on our website at once, but it does take a little bit of time to get that transition done. It should be finished by tonight, late tonight, probably 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. But I believe everybody has been having an easier time and fewer people are getting the 9002 error.
Great. I will try later tonight or tomorrow. Thank you so much.
And we do have a question that was submitted before this meeting. What plans does NSN have to serve story lovers who don't envision becoming storytellers, but want to know what is happening in the movement and where they can hear great stories next? And I will just say on my end, part of that is taking things digital. I think that will help engage community members who maybe haven't perceived storytelling as a way to connect with education or with healing. So having that digital library available for members outside of the storytelling community will help pull in those people who love stories but just don't necessarily see yet the capacity that they have. So I don't know if anyone else on the board wants to address that question. Again, it's asking what plans does NSN have to serve story lovers who don't envision becoming storytellers but want to know what is happening in the movement?
So I will answer that in relationship to, for many, many years now, I have been a proponent of developing a national touring program. It's a back burner project, but it is a project that is ongoing. I am actively, shopping for a national level sponsor, corporate sponsor who underwrite that program, because that's absolutely necessary to make it happen. And if we are able to put that program in place, hopefully within the next 2 years, physically we'll be able to have national, regional, local storytellers presenting around the country in venues, college campuses, art centers, those kinds of places that normally do not feature storytelling or storytelling on a regular basis. So.
Would anyone else like to address that question. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see you all, because I have only been able to see certain people. There we go. There are your lovely faces.
I could say also we are working on creating a national story slam, so that we're going to kick it off during this conference. And excuse me, the goal is to have one about every month, and then at the end we'll have some final slam, like some semifinals, and then have a final grand slam that will give people a chance to compete on a national level. And we want to continue offering cash prizes for that, unlike other competitors like the Moth, who don't do that. And as far as we know, we would be the only organization then offering a national grand slam. So that will open us up to a whole new world of storytelling and storytellers.
I see a question on here. Is there a way that we could do a membership drive focusing on younger people by offering an incentive? For elementary, middle school age, could we offer a story buddy? That's so cute. That's a great idea. Once a month, they meet up for a story exchange. In high school or college, we could match them with a story coach or public speaking. This is one of the things that I personally, and I know I speak for other members of the board, that I feel very passionate about this. My intention coming into the board was to help facilitate connections between NSN and the university population. So by creating membership benefits for universities to offer their college students to be able to participate in NSN, we would have a partnership there. So, but unfortunately with COVID and everybody kind of being in a state of chaos, we just have not gotten to that point yet. That is one of my goals in my role on the board, is to help push for that. But any recommendations or suggestions or existing connections that you have would certainly be very useful. I'm not sure if anyone else wants to speak to that, but I do have another question on the chat here.
Can I add one more thing? At this point, NSN is set up as an organization that serves adults. And so it would take a major business model shift to create something that actually supports kids and helps and supports them in a way that they deserve to be supported, right? So if you're interested in working on that, let us know. A good place to start might actually be the Youth Educators and Storytellers Alliance, SIG, where they work specifically with kids and with higher education. And they have a specific focus in that area. They might better be able to accommodate that. But I think you should bring your request or your ideas to Priscilla Howe or Sarah Beth Nelson, who are the leaders of the Yes SIG, and they might be able to create something depending on how you see that going.
I know we are constantly driving to bring in younger members. NSN captured my heart, and I know it will capture the heart of many others within my generation. So I feel very hopeful that we will be able to accomplish that with the great minds that we have in both our membership and on the board. Tom and Sandy Farley have a question about SIG memberships. Would you guys like to unmute yourself?
There. We're members of South Bay Storytellers and Listeners in Silicon Valley. We have joined the Yes SIG, but in listening to the reports, realized that we either individually or as part of our local group do things that are parts of all the others. We put on an event, and so on and so forth.
The winter workshop.
The winter workshop and so on. In terms of the memberships, it questioned whether there could be, and whether others would be interested in, an all SIG membership edition that would perhaps be slightly discounted if you did all of them to get the benefits of working across all of those groups. Now that there's just 4. As I see on the listings. So that might be of interest, and it might depends on whether other people shared that sense of, oh, I already belong to 3 out of the 4, why not, whatever.
The group.
Good. We're certainly willing to consider that. Again, in the long run, one of the things we're trying to do is figure out how to find that balance between making membership affordable, making it useful, and being able to generate enough sort of income to be able to provide the kinds of support that members want.
I'm searching for some additional questions here. If anyone has a pressing question, please raise your hand. We have about 5 minutes left, and then we will be preparing.
Otherwise, I'm going to talk.
Yes, please ask questions. Otherwise, we will be preparing for our spotlight performance at 5 p.m. CDT coming from Scotland. So if anyone else has any other questions, please raise your hand. Again, you are always welcome to contact us after.
Aaron?
Yes.
I thought Kevin Cordy has an interesting idea. He wrote in the chat that he would suggest that we have a separate NSN member meeting virtually in July or August, simply to brainstorm ideas for increasing revenue, awareness, and et cetera. And I think that's a good idea because right now, as a board, we're some smart people, but there are a lot more storytellers out there. And I think drawing in ideas for raising revenue from everybody, and I'm speaking as an individual, not on behalf of the board, I think that Kevin's idea makes a lot of sense. And because right now we're doing a lot of different things as a board and as members, we're going to all these different panels and sessions. But if we just got together to talk about raising revenue, I agree with Kevin, that would make a lot of sense.
Howard, this is Kevin. And just to add on that, I like the idea that Zoom has breakout rooms. And I know that if you work in groups, I mean, all the research suggests you're quote unquote a head taller just in your learning for working in groups. And I've learned so much from people that are actually on this call, and I'm better storyteller and know more about it because of it. And collectively, if we can put those people together, I think we can come up with some sure ideas that could be feasible and workable, but not to say that I want to give the board one more thing to do, but this would kind of be driven from the membership as well.
Great idea, I think, great idea.
Yep, I agree.
I have written that down and we will certainly try to plan for that. I see a couple people responding to me about university partnerships. If you have responded to the chat or either privately or publicly, please email me at secretary@storynet.org. I cannot chat you back, but I do love your comments and greatly appreciate it. So if you have any contributions to the university partnerships, please feel free to email me, secretary@storynet.org.
Okay, just in the minute or two left, I'm going to wrap up this meeting, call it done. Again, invite people.
Can I address one quick comment?
Sure.
Someone just posted in the chat, what is so sad is hearing us discussing our organization while our country is hurting and in chaos. I hear you, I see you, I agree with you, but that's why we need this. NSN is a powerhouse of healing, of connection, and we need that now more than ever. So yes, we are all facing hardships right now, and my heart has broken so many times in the last several months, and I was sobbing today at this morning's keynote. If you didn't have the chance to see it, definitely watch the recording. But NSN has the power to connect and unite beyond what any other art can do, because we're able to contribute meaningfully to the conversation while empowering others to have their voices heard. So yes, we are trying to rebuild an organization at a time when the world is in chaos, but that's why we need this so badly. So I just wanted to speak to that very briefly.
Okay,
thank you, Karen. That was a beautiful, beautiful answer. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay, what I will say is this, that NSN is a member-driven organization. And if you are a member and can renew, I deeply appreciate it. If you are a member and can contribute above and beyond what you might pay for the membership or for belonging to a SIG or for attending a conference, I deeply appreciate that. If you know people who are interested in storytelling, whether they be tellers or listeners, there is a value in having local, regional, national organizations to speak to the community and to speak to the need. NSN can fulfill that role, and I invite everyone to participate. I hope that you have a great conference from here on in. I will be back for portions of it And thank you very much for participating.
Can you post, please? Can you post, please, the link to vote again? The link to vote, we lost it. Can somebody post it, please?
Yes, I will post it right now. Please take a moment to go copy and paste it, because as soon as the meeting ends, you will lose that link. So here is the voting link again. And it's been posted.
The meeting up for about a minute, or two.
Yep, we'll stay on here for just about a minute. Again, please email me if you would like to see the full documents. And thank you all for being here today.
This is Angela. This is Angela Lloyd calling, and I'm turning off my phone. I just wanted to say that this conference today is day one, and I want to encourage everyone to each one. Reach out to your circles, and please let people know about this conference. And the group sessions that are at 5 o'clock Central Time, those showcases, is a great time to invite people to participate. So, and don't forget to save your chat, guys. If you go to the chat window and go to that little square with those 3 little dots, you can say save chat, and you'll have it on your computer.
Thank you, Angela. And actually, if you go to social media, we have some really beautiful posts that Aaron and Rachel put together. And now I'm not going. Sorry, that Aaron and Rachel put together, and you should check them out. Share them wildly. Please use the hashtag NSN StoryCon when you share, and let's get more people here. We've already broken our attendance record for last year. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can break the 500 mark at this point. We're over 314.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that includes individual things too. So somebody could have bought a ticket for one thing, but that's 314 individual people who are signing up to be a part of this from somewhere in the world. So yes, it's very exciting.
So is there a link for the Oracle ceremony? Because we had to register for the meeting because it was free, but it simply says Oracle ceremony, it's free, but how does anybody get on it?
So unfortunately, she misspoke. Cora misspoke. No, the award ceremony is free.
Right. The ceremony.
Yes.
No. Yes, but how do you sign up to it? There's no way to link in. So if I want my family to watch, how do they get on?
Yes. You can email me and I can send that to you if you have it, or if you have the full conference registration package, you can just copy that link from that one day and share it with them.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't share the whole thing, but you can share that one day because that is a free event, and that is just for the ceremony, not for the concert.
Right.
Clarify for everybody.
I
apologize. The performance is a paid event.
No, I know, but I
know. I'm just saying I apologize.
Oh, okay. I was going to say on the schedule, it says it's free, but it's like, how do we get in the room?
All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.